BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL, and much more. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
This shit feel like game 7. Put lines up through my S's. Wake up in the morning, count my blessings. Feel like heaven.
Yes, sir.
Like
welcome to the Money Down on the
lose,
Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. Appreciate you guys tuning in, liking, subscribing, whatever it is, YouTube, IG, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however you checking it out. We appreciate all the love. Keep tuning in. This past Tuesday, the trade deadline for the NFL ended, and teams making moves, trying to figure out the missing pieces that they need to get over that hump. We got Za'Darius Smith got traded to the Detroit Lions. We figured they would add a pass rusher. Sure. We had Mike Williams get traded to the Steelers. We figured he might get moved, based on the Aaron Rodgers comments after the game. And even before that, we had Devontae Adams get traded to the Jets. We had D-Hop go to the Chiefs. That looking like that's starting, that connection starting to build over there.
What?
We had Khalil Herbert get traded to the Bengals. Zach Moss got hurt, a neck injury, probably out indefinitely, so they go get them a back. Who else we got over here? Some great news coming out of this thing. We got, obviously, Deontay Johnson. He went to the Ravens. We had Josh Uche go to the Chiefs.
Mingo.
Yeah, Mingo got traded to the Cowboys.
Marshon
Marshon Lattimore to the Commanders. Yeah. And we got Trey White to the. There's a lot of trades going on. Trey White going to the Ravens too. So, everybody's been adding pieces, trying to figure things out. I don't know which addition to the team do y'all feel like is going to benefit their team the most. Like I feel like Marshon Lattimore to go into the Commanders. I think that's a good pickup. This team is rolling right now already. Defense is playing pretty solid. They don't really have one of those marquee corners that can shadow a top dog at the receiver position. Marshon can do that. He's going from a tough situation with the Saints. I know he was hurt to a great situation right now. A team that's 7-2 and leading a division. When you go from the slums to a mansion what you going to right now, he living pretty good. So I seen his little interview, of him today talking to the media, saying like he gonna bring that dog mentality. He's excited to be in a good situation, which I think it is. And Dan Quinn, I think his defensive scheme fits what Marshon does pretty well. I think this is a smash home run hit for them boys. I don't know who y'all like the biggest move from the trade deadline.
Yeah, the biggest move for me, I'm going to go with KC, is, D-Hop at the receiver position. I kind of know it happened a little bit before the trade deadline, but, him just being able to, give, Pat Mahomes that receiver that is truly a number one. And we haven't seen that in a while. Obviously, them dealing with the injuries, kind of getting rid of some people, and then, kind of Travis Kelce, I won't say on the back end, but you kind of see it, right, slowing down a little bit, even though on the game, the other day I want to say he caught 400 yards or close to it. But just giving Patrick Mahomes that weapon that time after time, and you see, he's able to make stuff work with lesser than talent, but having a true number one back into the mix. It's kind of giving me, and D-Hop posted it, it's kind of giving me that little Randy Moss, Tom Brady vibe, right? Because, I know a couple of people probably think, D-Hop, in the situation he was in with Tennessee was kind of slowing down, but man, he looked like he got a lot in the tank left. So it's going to be interesting to see, when we get into the playoffs, you kind of see how guys are going to have to match up with him, because he's still a guy that can go win one-on-one. He's going to catch those, those contested one-on-one catches. He's going to be a tough person to stop, as well as trying to figure out how you're going to slow Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes down in that offense.
And when you bring that up, too, when Randy was with the Raiders, the same thing. People thought it was the end of him. That boy came to New England, lighting that shit up. So
how many years he did in New England? Two?
I think he had 2 years. Yeah. So, I mean, it could be special for DeAndre Hopkins. People think he had the end of his career and all that, but you go to an organization like that with Patrick Mahomes, you may play trying to play 5 more years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't sleep on D Hop now. The boy was one of the best in the league.
Yeah,
I mean, even bro, in Arizona, he was going for a rack.
Yeah.
Hell, I want to say, last year was the first year in Tennessee? I'm trying to.
It might have been last year. It might have been last
year. Yeah, last year was the first year in Tennessee.
But he still was making plays. Like when he left Arizona, I don't know why it was ever a talk of, you know what I'm saying, if he was slowing down. In Arizona, he was still going crazy. So the thing that's exciting to me about KC in that situation is, you know, I don't know the health status of Hollywood, but I feel like if they do go deep into the playoffs, right, you might get him back at some point. And it's a mystery to me with this Rashee Rice situation, right? Like, I don't know. Did it come out and say if he tore his ACL?
They ain't say nothing.
Nothing has came out. So, you know, the last thing I saw was like they were trying to wait for the swelling to go down, which, I mean, it's 2024. All the modern saying and technology they got, they could tell if it's bad or if you know what I'm saying, or if it's not. So, I just think if you get some of these guys back, they gonna be. I know we talk about all these other teams with Baltimore and KC. KC gonna be tough to deal with.
If they're at full strength, they got Hollywood, Rashee. I mean, I don't know if Rashee come back, but D Hop, Juju, and Xavier Worthy.
And Xavier Worthy.
So all them boys healthy. That's dangerous with Mahomes back there. Obviously, you already know what he gonna do. What's your favorite move from the trade deadline, Warren?
I actually got 2. I would say Za'Darius Smith going to the Lions, something that they really need, pass rush depth. I mean, he's still young. He's 32. He's got a lot left in the tank. I mean, he's going to be good and a good asset to that already successful defense. And they've been successful without Aiden Hutchinson. So, you know, now you get another elite pass rusher back in that spot to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. I like to see what that defense continues to do moving forward and how he benefits their defense. And then the other one I said is Mike Williams. I mean, you know, we haven't really seen a whole ton from him this season. You know, obviously they got a lot of good weapons on the perimeter in New York. You know, you got a young receiver with Malachi Corley, but obviously you got Devontae Adams. You got
Garrett Wilson taking them targets.
Garrett Wilson, they're taking up all the targets. But to be able to pick up a weapon like that in Pittsburgh, I mean, we've been able to see what he can do in when he was with the Chargers. I'm about to say San Diego, but when he was with the Chargers,
he was in San Diego.
Yeah, I think he was. But I mean, he can take the top off of a defense, right? Especially when he's healthy and he's in an offense that's going to get him the ball downfield, and Russell's going to do something. Russell's going to do that. So opposite of George Pickens, you know, I think he for sure steps in as a number 2 and helps that offense for sure.
Yeah. What's the receiver y'all had, Warren? He's over there in
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson.
Yeah, he's solid too.
Pittsburgh got a little receiving core, man.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, and little dude wasn't Calvin Austin. He be sliding too.
He been getting right.
He been sliding too. And Pittsburgh also traded for Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers, so they got another edge defender. You know, they love that. You know, in Pittsburgh, got to have edge rushers guys.
They need them, but
I mean, I don't think they needed them at all, but more depth. So that rotation going to be fire. So TJ Highsmith come off the field, and he got hurt big, and he got Preston Smith. However they decide to do it, you got a deep defensive front, and the more the merrier when it comes to that. So there's no drop off. So I thought teams made some good moves, man. I feel like every single year at the deadline, it ain't like it used to be. I feel like the deadline used to be pretty quiet, be like a trade or two. Like now, teams do whatever they like. Look, it's mad for real now. Like their GMs ain't messing around. Like we got to get to. We want to get to this bowl. We need to find some pieces to help us out. But tomorrow, as we talking right now, we got Thursday night football. We got Bengals versus Ravens. Hey, the first one was that one was a movie. Went to overtime. It was 41-38 in that matchup. Went down to the wire. Obviously, Joe Burrow and our guy Lamar Jackson was going toe-to-toe. Jamar Chase was doing his thing. Derrick Henry was doing his thing. I don't know what y'all think of the second matchup. The Bengals, they're going to need every win. Every matchup, they need to go out here and try to win the rest of the way. Look at their record. They 4-5 right now. You got Pittsburgh 6-2, Baltimore 6-3, so they third in the division. So they got to win. For them, winning out gonna give you your best opportunity. So, and especially winning these division games against Baltimore, which you had an opportunity to beat them, a few weeks ago. You got another opportunity. T. Higgins doubtful for this game, so who knows if he actually plays or what type of difference he can make. And I don't know if y'all seen like the stuff about Jermaine Burton, the rookie receiver. Y'all ever seen the stuff about him?
No.
I guess last week he was inactive because he was complaining about his playing time or whatnot. He was inactive. I guess he missed the walkthrough or team meeting on Saturday, and then like somebody took a picture of him in the casino like the other night, like Dolo in the casino. Like, so I mean, being in the casino is whatever, but it's not a good look. I mean, I don't know what's going on and whatnot with him. I mean, he's a good football player. I was with Georgia, did his thing there with Alabama for a couple of years, but it's always been like, from what I've heard, it's like stuff off the field has kind of slowed him down. Talented player for him. I know I'm getting a little off topic, but for him, man, just remember to keep the main thing, man. Like, you got to block out the noise. You may not be getting as much playing time and all the catches that you may want right now, but just stay focused, grind and practice, and eventually, it'll get there. But if you're going to be a distraction to the team and, find yourself doing other things, hey, you're gonna be looking back and at the end of the year or next year, and you may not be on the team, man. So you gotta handle yourself the right way, because these GMs, these coaches, they all talk. You know what I'm saying? Once you get in that bubble, it's hard to get out that mud. Like,
even if it was just a casino, like everybody hits the casino at some point. Like, it is what it is, but don't allow somebody else to put your name in a bad light, because people will be quick to do that for sure.
And I don't even think it's more so even about the whole casino thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I encourage any young player that I can get a chance to talk to is, bro, football's hard, bro. It's a job. Like, it's something you've been doing your whole life for fun, and the love is there, right? But then when you get to this level and you make it to the NFL, it ain't no longer, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no longer about having fun. People got to feed their family. So I encourage every young guy to find a outlet. For us, it's Xbox, right? Like, when I was in Cincinnati, I ain't gonna lie, that same casino he hit, I done been there. But, you feel me? But for the most part, dog, like, we used to link up and just play Xbox and, talk about, our days or whatever. And that was an outlet for me, you know what I'm saying, to kind of decompress and get away from the stress that the NFL can bring. I just think when you miss meetings and all the stuff in-house and in the the facility and on the team start to affect, and now when you step out and you do whatever it is you're doing, them cameras, they gonna catch everything. So for him, like I said, talented player, great player, keep the main thing, and if that's your outlet, cool, but make sure you're taking care of business in the facility, so that they don't have nothing to, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really, you can't penalize somebody for going to the casino. Yeah. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But when all the other stuff in the facility, you start lacking in that area, that's when we can kind of, you know what I'm saying, we can take pictures and everything and pick, a part of your game that isn't really affecting, shouldn't be affected how you are on the outside. So, but I hope you get it right, man. Like I said, young player, talented. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, and he should be playing. If T. Higgins been out for a couple games, like, you very well should be at least a second or third receiver on that roster getting some targets. So, yeah, definitely keep the main thing. Like, if you start missing meetings, like Soj said, and acting up, complaining about reps, and then they see you in the casino, then it looks like it's a problem, because it seems from the outside looking, it ain't always what it is what it looks like. Like, you focused on something else other than your job. So hopefully it gets together. Definitely wishing the best of luck. But we'll get back. Talk about the game. I don't know who y'all like in this game. Ravens, Bengals, right? The spread, I know, is Baltimore -6. I think that's pretty fair. From what I'm seeing, is -6, because it always changes. Yeah. So by the time game roll around, it might change a little bit. But right now it's -6. I like the Ravens in this one again. I just think they got the upper hand. They rolling. The Bengals, they starting to get it together a little bit. I don't trust their defense, and I don't trust Baltimore defense that much neither. But it's definitely gonna be one of them high scoring football games. I probably bet the over, whatever the over is. Cool. These offenses gonna try and run it up.
Run it up for sure.
Yeah, I know Trey Henderson had himself a day on Sunday. We'll see if he could do that. Once again, I would love for them to try and add another pass rusher on the side of him. That'd have been smooth to help try and shore up that defense, but they didn't. Kind of is what it is. I think this will be a fun matchup. I like the Ravens in this one.
I'm gonna go Cincy, man. And the only reason why I'm going Cincy is because when you're back against the wall, you got to figure out a way, right? Like we talking about it getting to the point in the season where you can take a loss here, but it's going to affect you in the long run as you get later on into the season. And it's a divisional game. It's a game. The first game you were supposed to win. Like I remember going to overtime. I can't remember what happened. Lamar fumbled or something, and they got the ball back. And I want to say they had their chance, right? So here's it. Now I'm assuming because the game's in Baltimore tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
so
in Baltimore.
You got to go to be more hostile environment. James, you've told me, all of the players I know that's played in Baltimore have told me crazy game, atmosphere, rocking. This is what you're in the NFL for. You dream of playing in these type of games, and like I said, if you Cincy, you're back against the wall. T. Higgins, doubtful. I don't, what I'm saying? We'll see. So a lot of this is going to fall on, JB, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase. So
he been eating too.
He been eating. I want to say he took like a 70-yard screen to the crib against them or something like that. So he got the the star power to get it done. And Tennessee is one of those teams I want to see in the playoffs because so we always talk about its matchups, right? Like KC don't want to see Cincinnati, Buffalo, Baltimore don't want to see KC. Like just how the matchups end. So I just think everything will make it a little bit more spicier. So I'm gonna go with Cincy.
Yeah,
you like more?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Baltimore. I think, being in the bank, it's a division game. You only got 4 more left. This being the third, 4 more division games, and it's important. I mean, we talk about, Breeze makes mention of, that window of winning the Super Bowl closing, right? And obviously, not saying that about Baltimore. Obviously, they still got a lot of young talent and things like that. But, the window could be closing too. So, you made a big offseason pickup with Derrick Henry, and he's playing phenomenal this year. So, I got Baltimore winning, but just because this is a must-win game. Like you can't afford to lose. You can't afford to lose division games, and you're already 1-1 right now. You got to continue to push forward and win out because you are in a tough division, and every year this division is up for grabs. You got the Steelers in your division. Obviously, the Browns are down bad right now, but they're picking it up. You'll play them. You'll see them again later in the year, and then you already you won a close one with Cincy early on. So you have to have improved. As you're moving forward. So got to be able to win division games, especially in the position that you're in.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of these young teams that are good, bro. Like I think Denver. Not looking too bad, right? Like I mean,
look all right.
And they started kind of slow. They picked it up.
You know what I'm saying? Playoff, you're gonna be in that playoff conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot the Chargers. I mean,
boy, look solid over there.
Solid. So, and you can literally go through every division. Like the Baltimore, that division they stack, right? Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincy. Cleveland on the down this year. You go to KC. Broncos, Chargers, like they in that playoff conversation. I mean, maybe the Jags division is probably that down division, but for the most part, the other divisions could get 2-3 teams in, right?
Yeah.
So this is not, I ain't gonna say must win for Cincy, but it's like, hey, bro, it's gonna get a little tough, man. You might as well. Help yourself out now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but that's another thing too. Is you don't want to play with, obviously, with the Steelers doing how they're playing, as well as they're playing right now. But they're right. You don't want to mess around with Cincy because Cincy is a team that can come bite you. So win that game. Take the lead on them 2-0 in terms of being in division, and let's not have to worry about them.
Yeah,
but
so right now as we speak. Chargers are in the playoffs and Broncos are in the playoffs. Colts are on the bubble and Bengals are on the bubble at 8 and 9. So the AFC is
that Colts division might change a little bit just because of
for sure.
Houston got some problems, man.
Yeah.
And it's the line. It's the old line. They got some problems.
Is Nico back this week?
Man, I haven't heard nothing about him yet.
I don't even think it's got anything to do with Nico being hurt.
It don't. But it's nice to have that weapon, man.
No, for sure. But if you can't block, I mean, you ain't got no chance. So
CJ really, CJ can't do it on his own. I've seen the last couple of weeks that protection not right. He's not able to get through all his progressions and find his receivers. I mean, he's still able to make some plays, but you don't want the young buck taking shots, every single week. That ain't
pull a page from Pittsburgh book, but I started learning how to win with the run game. Run game straight.
I mean, they do. Joe Mixon be told. It makes a great pickup.
Figure that out.
Hey, I got a question for you, James. Right? I think Derrick Henry on a 1 year, or is it 2 years?
Ooh, I don't know what his deal is.
I think it's on a 1 year, right?
Might be
I thought it was like 1 for 10.
Let me see contract. He might be on 2.
Oh, 2 for 16.
2 for 16.
Okay, good, cool. I was just gonna think, bro. The year he having, I'm coming to the table next year, bro.
You gotta re-up.
Yeah, you gotta re-up.
Good luck.
Don't win Offensive Player of the Year. I might need another 2 for 20 or something like that.
Yeah,
but
especially at bat.
1 year, so.
Especially at bat, they're gonna try and shortchange you as much as possible. I'm like, you ain't gonna do that again. Nah, I need that bread, homie.
I was gonna say what Philly signed Saquon to?
He like 12 a year or something like that. Around
2 years as well.
Like 2 or 3. I don't know his deal either.
I think Say got probably 3.
3? Oh, okay.
I want to say 3. But either way, them boys,
another one.
3 year 37.
Okay, 37. Either way, both of them boys cutting up, man. I think Derek might be on pace to rush for like almost.
Yeah, it's probably like 16, 15, 16 years.
What he at now? Ooh, we'll talk about. We'll figure it out. But I thought he was on pace to maybe rush for like.
Nah, he
17.
Yeah, 1,052. So he probably get about 15, 1,600, 17. I mean, if he really keep it rolling, if he get like one of them 200-yard game, 200 plus,
he might run for 17, 18.
Yeah, it's a chance.
8 games? Oh, you can. 8 games? 8 games.
He might run.
You got to figure a couple of them. He probably ain't gonna get over, but I mean, he might. But I don't know. He got to have one of them games. He go for 200. Jump you up them charts a little bit. But these
next 4 gonna be tough. You got Bengals, Steelers, Chargers, and Eagles.
He can go for 200 against. He rolling on the first game.
But that's a division game, bro. You never know how people gonna act.
You said Bengals, Chargers.
It's Bengals, Chargers, Eagles. It's Bengals, Steelers, Chargers, Eagles.
Bro, he could rush for a buck in 3 out of 4 of those games, bro. Like minimum, because Philly ain't stopping around.
Yeah.
Bengals not stopping it.
The Bengals ain't. He might rush for 200 tomorrow. If he pop one early, might rush for 2.
What do you do?
Only game I'm kind of like on the bubble with, I'll probably say is Pittsburgh. So
he only rushed for 92 in the first game.
Against who?
Yeah, against Bengals. So
only 92?
I mean,
yeah.
I get what you're saying, but it wasn't 200. That's what I'm
saying.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see though. We'll turn the page to college football on Tuesday. The first CFP rankings drop. I don't think it was too many surprises. Perker popped the bracket up there. So we got Oregon number 1. We got Georgia number 2. Miami at number 3. BYU at number 4. BYU rolling right now. So all of them will have a first round bye. And then the other bracket, we got Boise State, Ohio State, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State. So, I mean, as we speak, it looks like some pretty good matchups. I mean, I think Oregon, based on right there, Oregon got a favorable, got the favorable side of that bracket being number 1 seed, if that's the way it ended today.
Yeah.
Is there any surprises on there from y'all, or is there any team y'all think end up? I mean, we still got 3 more games left.
Yeah,
sneaks into this bracket because I know there's one down in that bottom left corner. I know they might shock some people, especially them people down in Miami. They meet up in that ACC championship. SMU.
Yeah,
SMU dangerous.
Yeah,
SMU a dangerous little team.
I was just gonna hint to that. Like, I feel like obviously, it's dope to see the college football playoffs and see this bracket, but man, a lot of these teams got to play each other. We got a big showdown this Saturday.
Georgia and all that.
I wasn't even talking about Georgia. I was talking about LSU and
that one too.
But shoot, Georgia and Ole Miss. I mean, just the way Georgia looking right now, they look. If any team has ever looked beatable, like this is the year, bro. Everybody looks beatable. Only team I can really say that I think is like floating at a good pace right now, I probably would just say is Oregon, and it didn't start like that for them in the beginning of the year. They had to progress to that, so it's gonna be real interesting, man. I like college football. To me, I say it time and time, way better than the NFL. Just as far as just the intensity, the fan base, the excitement that come with it. I mean, all these games matter, bro. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna get real interesting because we got Miami play Georgia Tech. I feel like could be a little sneaky game for them.
Always
Georgia
a trap game for them.
Yeah. Yep. Georgia at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, them boys rolled Arkansas this past weekend, but you never know what you're gonna get from Ole Miss in these type games. You never know what team gonna show up. Indiana, they got a tough one against Michigan because they slip up in that one. That could mess up their chances. Let's see who else. What other matchups we got out here? We got obviously LSU, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a night game. Notre Dame play FSU.
Penn State.
Yeah, Washington, Penn State. That could be a little sneaky game too for Penn State. See if they let Ohio State beat them twice.
What did Penn State drop to?
6. They're number 6. So
okay.
they ain't too
far. BYU and Utah. That's a rivalry game.
Yeah, it is a rivalry game. But Utah they're not like how they've been over the last couple.
Rivalry game, bro. You know,
for sure.
Rivalry games.
I'm just saying Utah, but Utah ain't. You know, past couple years, Utah been, anybody good.
Bro, people pick Utah to like real deal contend this year in the playoffs.
and as of right now, the spread is only at -3.5 for BYU. So like, people know that game gonna be hot.
BYU is in what, the Big
12.
Big 12.
Yeah.
So
that's but that's what I'm saying. That's gonna be interesting because I've been like BYU probably might have to play Colorado in the Big 12 championship. It's gonna be cool. Man.
I was gonna ask y'all think there's any chance Colorado end up getting in this playoff?
But they gotta beat Texas Tech this week.
Yeah, Texas Tech names they just knocked off Iowa State this past weekend. They got a solid little back. Taj Brooks, he be toting that thing. But like Big 12 kind of got a little solid conference going on this year. It's pretty dangerous. I just think they keep knocking each other off these last couple weeks. We'll figure out, if Colorado be able to hang on. But I do think if they're able to get in the playoff, they can surprise some people, man. Mm-hmm. It's all about their defense at the end of the day. Defense, offensive line. If the defense and offensive line show up, they always a dangerous matchup for people because they got the skill position guys to hang with, with anybody, with SEC teams, Big Ten, all that. But if they can't handle, that up front stuff, they don't stand no chance.
I was like, Colorado should, as long as their defense act right, they should be able to win out.
Yeah, who they got? Who they got the final few games?
They got this week. They got Texas Tech. Then they got Utah. Then they got Kansas, and then Oklahoma State.
Okay, yeah. So
they should be able to.
And then they're gonna have to play BYU, and then
play BYU.
If everything go,
Never know this year, boy.
I was facing that number 2 right now.
Yeah,
I see.
Only got one loss.
Yep.
Because who's still undefeated? Navy or Army? Which one?
Army
got to play Notre Dame, right? Like at this point, bro, you don't know, man. You don't know. There's a lot of, and I love it though. I love it.
2 weeks and 3 weeks. They got a bye week, so they play North Texas this week, bye week, and then Notre Dame.
I love it, bro. You better come with it, man. Especially at this point in the season, like I get it, for some of the teams like Army, like, bro, you have to win that game because I don't think Army's in the top.
Yeah,
they're 25.
Right. Let's see.
So undefeated at 25, like you need a statement win that's gonna push you.
Man, still got them at 25. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
They ain't play nobody.
They ain't play nobody.
We're still undefeated though. I mean, hey, all right, look. Bro, they only can play the teams on their schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but they still be thinking about
Miami ain't played nobody.
Yeah, technically. I mean, if you want to say that.
But Miami's also a Power 5 team, a Power 4 team, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I get all that, but
and the level, not level of competition, but the teams that they played are better than the teams that Army has played. So, like, that's not even a competition.
That's subjective. We don't know. Man, them teams ain't play the same team we play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Like,
FAU, Rice.
Line it up.
Tulsa, that's facts. Hey, anybody can beat. You right.
never know.
We done seen crazier. You're right.
We never, especially this season. I'm saying, anybody could get beat for real. So it's going to be interesting these last few weeks to see how this college football shakes out. And I said, I'm excited, for this first 12-team bracket. I feel like it's going to be some surprises in this 12-team bracket. It could be one of them Cinderella stories. I don't know, like whatever Boise State or one of these smaller schools, Indiana, or whatever. That we don't expect to make it to a chip. They might really get an opportunity. You never know what's really going to happen, but it's going to be real exciting. But that's a wrap for this Money Down podcast on the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Keep liking, keep subscribing. I said we got some real interesting news that we want to share with y'all. We're going to still working on all the details, but it's going to be some fun in Madison, next week. So appreciate you guys tuning in.